Hello and welcome. Whew, it's been a very interesting 24 hours, and a lot of news has gone down. A lot of things have happened, and I knew this was going to be a big weekend for stuff, and I know next week is going to be a big weekend. But I sit here, and I just got a lot to say. And it's going to be on two things. Is this a review video? Yeah, but it's almost like a review, like almost like a double review slash news video in a way when it comes to wrestling. Because first thing, I'm just going to give a quick rundown what I'm going to do here. The first thing we're going to review is Dominion 2018 of the incredible show from yesterday. I woke up, I didn't wake up when the show started, but I did wake up pretty early to see this whole pay-per-view, avoiding any type of spoiler that was possible. And even avoiding the spoilers, I also saw the UFC pay-per-view later on that night on Saturday. UFC 225. I say 225. Yeah, 225. That I am right what I said. And we all know we were going to see CM Punk versus Mike Jackson. Because trust me, I watched a lot of stuff yesterday, from that to I also watched I think I watched E3, yeah, the EA press conference, but we'll see to say the video game and things for another time. But what I'm here to talk about is New Japan. Jesus Christ, WWE couldn't hold a candle to this show. Hell, WrestleMania couldn't even come close to this show. Not even SummerSlam, damn near. But like I said, we're gonna be talking about two things. So this is almost like a double review slash news thing, because I got a lot of news after the whole New Japan show. But as we all know of Dominion 2018, and probably one of the best wrestling matches of, probably in my opinion right now, match of the year, and I'm sure a lot of people are going to say that. Some people say this may have been the greatest wrestling match of all time. Some say match of the decade. Just like I just said, like I said, the best match in general. One of the greatest wrestling matches of all time, of what we saw between Kenny Omega and Kazuchika Okada. I think I said his name, Kazuchika Okada, or pretty much Omega versus Okada 4. And yes, this was a big show. There was a lot of title changes. This was a new direction I felt like New Japan is going in, especially looking at the beginning of the show, and we'll kind of kick it off from there. As Dominion started off, they had the new president of New Japan, Harold May. They had a big video package. I think he was in New York at the time, and yes, he did speak both Japanese and English. I think he was born in Poland, as they said, and he was here to bring New Japan to the next level. He is the new president and CEO of NJPW, and as he said, he was going to take it to the new level. He was going to give his everything to make this dream come true. So I've never, like I said, the guy is new. I've never heard of him, but he pretty much kind of got to the point in his speech of what he wanted to say and what he wanted to see out of New Japan. And I believe I've been hearing things how we know that New Japan's been trying to get into that Western market now. We know they're over there, but we know steadily by time and time they come to America and do shows over here. We know there's one coming up, the G1 special. I think that's in July at the Cow Palace. We've seen them at the convention center last year. We've seen Strong Style Evolve this year, back in March. I think it was in Long Beach. Was it in Long Beach at the Pyramid Center? So we saw that again too. But as we saw, both of those, yeah, they really are trying to take over the world right now. So it was interesting to see this guy talk, just to see what he was gonna do. So Harold May. So we'll see what he does in time, since he's the New Japan president. But I just wanted to get through that little quick thing, so that was the beginning of the show. Don Callis and Kevin Kelly were on commentary, as the first match tonight began with Suzuki-gun, El Desperado, and Yoshinobu Kanemaru versus Roppongi 3K, Sho and Yo with Rocky Romero. This was a good match. I will say really good. Kick off the show. Pretty short, I will give it that. But it was really good in the beginning. I did enjoy the match. Desperado and Connemara pretty much got cheated the win using a pretty much pushing the ref, and I believe Connemara hit, I think it was Yo, with a whiskey bottle because he always carries whiskey around, and Desperado was able to get I think it was a trap and roll up for the victory. So he got the win for the team, retaining the IWGP Junior Heavyweight titles. Pretty much Rocky Romero called Suzuki Moon Punk bitches coming. They was going to come after the titles. Because right now we're kind of in the undercard before we get to the bigger part of the show. But you know, a lot of these were undercard matches. Next was David Finlay and Juice Robinson versus Jay White and Yoshihashi. This was pretty much another quick match. There wasn't much to say from here. I think the story throughout this whole match was Juice Robinson going after the IWGP United States Championship, since him and Jay White have a feud going on. Because I believe David Finlay was the last one to face him at the Corrigan Hall back in April. So I guess Robinson's still going after the title. He was able to hit Jay White with the Pulp Friction for the win. And, you know, like I said, he pretty much was holding up the title and walking all over Jay White. So I'm sure we'll see another match out of these two in the future. Next was Minoru Suzuki and Zack Sabre Jr. versus Tomohiro Ishii and Toru Yano. The big story throughout all of this was between Suzuki and Ishii beating the living shit out of each other, doing what they could. When we know it's going to be a big match when these two face each other, but the story mostly was about these two, mostly trying to kick the crap out of each other, beating the shit out of each other 2 times and times. Suzuki trying to hit that sleeper hold or his Gotch style pile driver, or Ishii trying to hit the brain buster for the win. But as both of these guys were just strong style, you know, just hitting these strikes against each other, Zack Sabre Jr. was able to get Yano in the octopus stretch, as Suzuki pretty much hit. What did he hit Ishii with to hold him back? I think it was I think he had him in a was it an arm bar? I think it was not an arm bar, but I'm trying to remember the submission move. Kind of need to go back and look at my notes real quick, but yeah, I think he had him in like yeah, he pretty much kind of had him in a submission also. I'm sorry if I don't remember the submission move Suzuki had him in, but Yano tapped as I tell you, man, Zack Sabre Jr., that guy can just stretch anybody. Let me say that too. He will stretch the shit out of you. Okay, dude, like he was gonna pull fucking Yano's arms in half, damn near. But then pretty much after the match, Suzuki pretty much was headed back up the ramp with Zack Sabre Jr. until Ishii attacked him from behind. And then Suzuki kept beating up Ishii with a chair, but the two kept brawling with each other and just fighting all over the arena, where Suzuki pretty much chased Ishii to the back as they were trying to break these guys up. Suzuki even had the damn guardrail trying to chase after him with it. So when this match comes, these two will beat the living crap out of each other. So I can see that really coming. That's going to be a very fun match to watch. Next was one of the next title matches of the night: Hiroki Goto versus Michael Elgin versus Tai Chi, and a triple threat match for the Never Openweight Championship. This was a really good match. People were behind Elgin, which I was actually surprised who actually won this match, but he didn't pin the champion. No, Hiroki Goto still looked strong throughout the match, but Elgin was able to pick up the win doing a buckle bomb on Tai Chi onto Goto, and then he hit the Elgin bomb on Tai Chi for the win. So we know it's not going to be a singles match between both of these two in the near future, so get ready to watch that. But the people mostly behind Michael Elgin as he won the Never Openweight Championship. Now this is where the bigger part of the show begins. This is where a lot of things get very great later on, especially in these next, I believe it was the next 5 matches. 4 matches. Yeah, I think it was the next 5 matches, I should say. But next was the IWGP Tag Team titles on the line. LIJ, Los Ingobernables de Japón, Evil and Sonata versus the Young Bucks Bullet Club for the IWGP Tag Team titles. This was just one of the best matches of the night, okay? The Young Bucks, if you say they can't tell a story, they can. All right, Nick Buck pretty much going off of his bad leg after he pretty much kicked the turnbuckle. We all know how Matt Jackson's back is always hurting as he's still trying to sell that. This was great, and I couldn't even tell who was gonna win this. Okay, because Sonata was trying to hit the skull in several times, even spinning Matt Jackson around all over the place. Then again, both the Young Bucks always putting out the super kicks as they would usually do, kicking everybody all over the place. And it's like I said, once one of these Young Bucks insanity matches, as you would usually see, where it's like fucking crazy spots all over the place. But this was, like I said, this was like one of the another one of the best matches of the night if you want to go put there. But we know it's gonna get better. But this was very great. The Bucks was able to pretty much take out Evil and then hit the more bang for your buck then to get the win. And by the way, they won the IWGP titles on their first try. So the Young Bucks are now the never open weight six-man tag champions with Marty Scurll, and they now hold the IWGP tag title. So they won it on their first try. I actually was surprised to see them win it right now. Yes, they are now in the heavyweight division. Okay, they are in the heavyweight division now, but I just didn't expect them to win. But once again, the Young Bucks proved they're most likely, arguably, the best tag team in the world right now. And if you have, and I recommend go seeing this tag team match because this was very great to watch. And then after they went to talk to Don Callis, as they said, "What are you doing September 1st?" And I guess Callis says, "Am I all in?" And I guess the Bucks said he's all in. So if you want to go with some all in news right here, Don Callis most likely will be on commentary. And I guess we'll most likely have a live stream for All In coming up in September. If Callis is on commentary, then hey, he's all in. So hey, we'll see him in Chicago then. Just a little bit of All In news right there. And hey, Young Bucks holding a lot of gold right now. So new IWGP Tag Team Champions. Next was the debut of Rey Mysterio. Tagging with Jushin Thunder Liger and Hiroshi Tanahashi versus Bullet Club, Marty Scurll, Hangman Page, and Cody. This was a good six-man. Pretty quick, I will say that. Mysterio did really good in his debut, even in a double 619 on both Scurll and Page. Crowd was with him doing the 619. I did like his gear as it kind of had the New Japan colors and the mask to it, like a half mask, and it looked really good. Like I said, this match was pretty quick, and I actually expected Rey and him to go over, but they didn't. Cody was able to hit the pretty much knock Tanahashi out of the ring and hit a crossroads on Liger for the victory. That's one thing somebody pointed out. We didn't really see Cody and Rey Mysterio go against each other that much. Yes, these two have gone against each other in WWE several times in the past, and they kind of did a little bit after, since Cody kept attacking Liger after the match, but Rey was able to make the save. And I'm sure we're going to see a lot more of Rey Mysterio in New Japan, but he looked really good here. I'm glad he didn't take the pin. I was just surprised Tanahashi and Liger and Rey didn't go over Bullet Club right here. So I'm sure we'll see more out of this feud, and most likely we'll see the Rey versus Jushin Thunder Liger match in the future. Or maybe we'll see Rey versus, I don't know, we can see a lot of things Rey Mysterio could do for New Japan Pro Wrestling right now. So this was a really good start. Some people think this was a six-man in the mask. Some of the injuries Rey has had, I believe it was that bicep tear he suffered a few months ago, because I think he was supposed to wrestle a Strong Style Evolve against Jushin Liger, but that has not happened yet because of his injury. So was this match here just to mask some of the injuries? Maybe, but I think he looked really good out there, and Rey moved like there was nothing wrong with him. And it was cool to see the first, I guess some people say the first 619 in a New Japan Pro Wrestling ring. So I recommend going back and look at this one since it was Rey's debut. Next, one of the next best matches. This is where the top three come in now. The top three matches, especially title matches right here. Hiromu Takahashi, the new Best of the Super Juniors 25 winner, versus Will Ospreay, the IWGP Junior Heavyweight Championship. Holy shit, this match was insane, okay? And I love mostly every bit of it, okay? This was just really good. You thought Tanahashi had a great match against Taiji Shimori at the best of the Super Juniors. Come look at this with him and Ospreay. This was just freaking great, okay? These guys just come on, laid it all out there. Ospreay, I didn't know how far this guy jumped when they were outside and he was on the ramp and just, I swear he flew maybe about 7-8 feet and doing a somersault landing onto Hiromu on there. But this match was great. Everyone was behind it. This was just an amazing match because I believe Ospreay does that damn shooting star press into a corkscrew that looked fucking crazy. Let me say that right there. And Ospreay was gonna hit the Stormbreaker again, but he couldn't get it and tried to get a reverse power bomb. Hiromu, he pretty much, this is where he kind of got the win, where Hiromu kind of just went crazy right here. Time Bomb hit the Death Valley Driver onto the corner, and then hit his Time Bomb finisher for the win. Pretty much becoming the new IWGP Junior Heavyweight Champion, and it was pretty cool with him as he had both the trophy and the title in his grasp after becoming, the best of the Super Juniors. So I'm sure we will see another match between Time Bomb and Ospreay whenever the rematch comes. But this was fucking great to see. Okay, Ospreay and Time Bomb tore it down. I'll tell you, man, the Super Juniors the Juniors are great. Okay, and I've seen them in the past, but after watching the tournament recently and seeing some of the matches, this was great. Especially, you thought the final was great with Ishimori and Time Bomb. Watch Time Bomb, Ospreay, and tell me what you think about that. That was great. So at least LIJ gained another belt after they lost some belts earlier in the night. Next, which I was actually surprised at this one, Tetsuya Naito versus Chris Jericho for the IWGP Intercontinental Championship. Jericho, who came out with this, and they had a video package too before this, but he had like a Clockwork Orange style type of entrance coming out. Yeah, it was like Clockwork Orange with the hat and everything. And it was like black lipstick and like makeup and stuff. He still had his what was that song? Judas, I think it was, his theme song was. Naito came out with the white suit as usual, but as he was headed to the ring, Jericho attacked him from behind. Both guys pretty much brawled into the crowd. And after that, even pulling Naito's jacket on his head, keep punching him, and as they kept going with each other, Jericho had powerbombed Tetsuya Naito through a table on the outside as it was on the barricade, and he took the cameraman. He took the camera for the cameraman. Just keep said like "F you" to Naito and stuff, putting up his middle finger. Because I'll tell you one thing here, Jericho was just beating the shit out of Naito. I'll say that. And I don't know, like, where is this Chris Jericho? Even I got to say that. Where is this Chris Jericho? All right. And as they were in the ring, I think Red Shoes didn't even want to ring the bell, and Jericho's like, ring the fucking bell, as he kept taking out Naito, and he's still in his suit, by the way, too. Naito was trying to recover, which I believe he had a cut under his eye then as he was bleeding, and Jericho's just telling the referee to hurry and count the fuck up, pretty much. Like, he's just dropping F-bombs all over the place, by the way. Just beating up Jericho. Naito actually finally got his suit off later on in the match. He even tried to choke Jericho with it. Like I said, he had that cut on his eye then. And Naito, he had a pile driver on the announce table on the outside of the ring after Jericho hit him with a DDT earlier on the table. Spiked it. It looked pretty bad how he did that. It looked really just kind of like spiking his head. A spot that looked almost kind of, and this could have went bad too, but I think Naito was going to do a Hurricane Rana, and Jericho held his legs, pretty much jumping off the turnbuckle. Then I'm surprised Naito didn't drop on his head all the way, but pretty much putting that to the walls of Jericho then on Naito. After that, Naito was able to break out of it, pretty much hitting the German suplex. He tried to hit the Destino, but he pretty much got caught and only to a 2 count. And he even came back with another Destino, but Jericho was able to grab the bottom rope then after that. And once again, Naito was bleeding like on the other side. I think it was on the other side on his face then. And then both guys just started slapping the shit out of each other. Naito was spinning Jericho several times, but I think he tried to run into him, and I don't know if it was like a drop kick, but he got hit with a code breaker then. and stuff. Jericho, he pretty much went for a lion salt. It was another lion salt, but Naito had his knees up. He tried to hit another Destino, but Jericho pushed the ref and then pretty much kicked Naito in the nuts then from behind. He hit the code breaker, and Chris Jericho is the new IWGP Intercontinental title. Jericho puts it, he's a 10-time Intercontinental Champion now. So WWE and New Japan, I was very surprised to see that. It didn't even after he's still beating the shit out of Naito, man. And even I said there, like, where is this LIJ crew at? There's one thing I will say. Every time Naito keeps getting beat up, and this has been by Jericho too, I swear everybody in the rest of LIJ just kind of stands around, and it looks like they're so oblivious until they get ready to help. And it's like they be standing there, he's still getting beat up, and they're just like, oh, well, what do we do? And then y'all finally help Naito then, but Jericho kept beating up Naito, and Evil pretty much came out for the save then. Finally, someone from LIJ happened, and then Jericho pretty much took the commentary table, and he says, you see what happened? So he says, who the hell are you? Who is Evil, okay? Because I just beat the shit out of Naito, and Evil held Naito to the back. And this was great. I like New Japan Jericho. New Japan Jericho is fucking great. This isn't no list Jericho or comedy Jericho. This is a guy that's fucking crazy in New Japan and is beating the shit out of people. And he beat the shit out of Naito in this match. Let me just say that. Especially in the beginning. And I guess it's going to be Jericho versus Evil now, unless it's a rematch with him and Jericho beat I think we'll see Jericho Naito again in the future, I believe, but Evil's going to be going after him next. But Jericho, like I said, we're going to be seeing more Jericho in New Japan. I like this version, okay? Like I said, I like List Jericho too, but this is a way different version than WWE Jericho, okay? And he is killing it right now in New Japan. I was very shocked to see him win. I didn't even think he was going to win it. Some people think he was just there to put Naito over, but he is the new IWGP Intercontinental Champion here, folks. Fucking crazy. And now as we get to one of the best match of the night, of course, the IWGP Heavyweight title, Omega versus Okada 4. And they showed the past champions and a video package, which this was kind of cool with Kenny Omega. They had this video package. It was like a feather dropping, and it was Kota Ibushi. And, Kota, he showed up because, they reformed the Golden Lovers and everything. But it's like, how much were you willing to cost? Even dropping Bullet Club in a way if he wanted this title that bad. He didn't even have the Young Bucks with him coming out. It was just Omega and Ibushi coming out together as Okada had Geto with him. And then to say Omega looked fucking jacked to the damn gills, as a lot of people want to say. I will say that, and we have to remember this is the 4th match, and it was like you thought that the trilogy was great because we started all the way back from Wrestle Kingdom of last year, which Okada got 1. Then next was Dominion of last year, which that was a draw, and then the 3rd match was at the G1. Omega was able to get the win in the G1, which I never understood why Okada needed to be in the G1 to begin with last year. It's like he's the champion, and whoever wins this tournament would face the champion in Wrestle Kingdom. So why the fuck was Okada even in the damn tournament last year if he was even the champion? If he was the champion. And in this 2 out of 3 falls match, this was insane. Because even in my thoughts looking at it was like, was Omega gonna be the one to beat Okada? Because Okada's been champion over 600 something days. How long has he been champion? For like 2 years now, I believe. And I got to the point, how many people we gonna throw at Okada until somebody beats him? Because he's just beating everybody from Omega 3 times. He's gone against Evil. He's gone against Zack Sabre Jr., Will Ospreay, Naito, Bad Luck Fale, Tanahashi, Sanada. Who else is Okada went against? I'm just trying to name all the people that's kind of coming off of my head because I think he had like 12, 13 title defenses Okada's pulled out. Minoru Suzuki. I think I'm trying to remember if I do remember everyone's name. Yeah, those are like some of the top names he's went against, and even I look at this match because when Omega did it 3 times, I thought Naito was going to be the next guy to beat him. But then again, I was surprised at Wrestle Kingdom when Tetsuya Naito didn't even beat Okada for the title, because I thought that was going to be his time, but it wasn't. But just looking at this match was just insane, okay? This match went over an hour. I don't even remember the time of when it ended. This went over an hour. Both of these guys just laying it all out there, okay? From the V triggers to the outside to that jumping tombstone on the apron. Omega pretty much jumping over the guardrail as he did that Terminator like clap everyone does, landing on Okada to the floor. You guys hitting each other with German suplexes. Like I said, V triggers, everything. But then, you know, as Okada, he tried to hit the Rainmaker, of course, after doing that tombstone. Omega dodged it, and he tried to go for a pin, but Okada went at the first fall with a roll up, pretty much, really, for the win. Pretty much hooked his legs for the win. So that was actually surprising. Now, there's one thing I can say about this 2 out of 3 falls match. This was really interesting to me of what New Japan was doing right here. When it's a 2 out of 3 falls match, they got a 2-minute break. Okay, so like whoever I guess, you know, when the first fall, depending on how many times it was gonna go, it's like after the first fall, I guess they got like a water break or something to recover real quick until the next round starts. And after the 2-minute break, that's what was really interesting about this 2 out of 3 falls match. There was like just a 2-minute rest period until until it was next to call, because they went almost 30 minutes in the first round, okay? But as they went back into the second one, Omega was going in on Okada, of course, doing what he could, mostly hitting him with V triggers again. There was even there was a table involved, I think it was, and I think he tried to do a double stop, but that didn't work. They almost got the double count out on both on the 19, but that didn't work. Okada tried a Rainmaker again, but Omega did a very spiked Uranagi, which was pretty good. Both guys pretty much kept going at each other, mostly doing chops, and I swear, and then they just, you know, they no-selled it. Next, Omega was going to get a power bomb. He hit a power bomb, and it was a V-trigger in after that. And when he hit the next V-trigger, and he had a pile driver, didn't get it. So he hit one more V-trigger and a one-wing angel for the win. So it was, you know, Omega got the second win after that, as there was another 2-minute rest break period. So both of these guys were one apiece, and, you know, just building up the story right here. Who was going to get the final fall? Who was going to get the win right here? So as both of these, you know, both of these two got 1 point apiece, this is now the final one, okay? This is the final round right here. Who was going to get the win? Both of these guys just start going at each other. Omega's hitting Okada with V-triggers, of course. As soon as the bell rang, he was going to go for the one wing, but it didn't work. Okada pretty much hit a Rainmaker then, but he still kicked out. Omega, this one was surprising me. This dude did a freaking Styles Clash out there. I'm like, Styles Clash? Styles Clash? Even though it was an AJ Styles that broke out for us, because since, you know, he was the AJ Styles was the IWGP champion at a point in time. So the Styles Clash didn't even work at that point. And Omega, he still hit V triggers, of course. Tried to hit him in the electric chair. Didn't even go off from there. What after that? I think Okada hit another. He hit another tombstone after that. Even Ibushi had came out there, like Ibushi was out there. It's like he tried to help Omega in a way. I think he told him to use his finisher, so he did a Phoenix Splash, which he pretty much missed after that. Okada pretty much hit a drop kick on him, but Omega came back with a V trigger, which was one thing that was cool. Like Okada tried to do a V trigger. No, I mean Okada tried to do a drop kick, but in that mid drop kick, Omega hit the V trigger in midair. That looked very cool. I will say that. Even Okada, once again, he tried hitting that tombstone. They kept blocking each other with the tombstones from there as they kept flipping over until Okada tried doing Rainmaker, but he collapsed, couldn't even knock Omega to the ground. Like, both of these guys were just spent. They were like gasping on it. It's like they tried to hit their finisher, but they couldn't even hit the full thing on it then. It's like it wouldn't work. And as they start slapping the shit out of each other, of course, Okada hit another Rainmaker then. he been holding on to Omega, hit him with a second Rainmaker after that. But I guess he tried to go a third one. Omega dodged it for a German suplex after that then. And he even hit another one after that as he kept holding on to him, hit another German suplex. And as he had Okada, I think he tried him with a Rainmaker, but yeah, Okada tried to get him again and hit him with a Rainmaker, but Omega dodged it, and he hit like 3 V triggers after that. Okay, it was like 3 of them, I believe, just beating the fuck out of Okada with it. It's like he hit it and he hit it, and he didn't know how many V triggers he tried to hit, but I counted like 3 of them, because both of these guys were just pretty much down after that. But after that third V trigger, Omega hit that one wing angel, and finally he beat Okada, and finally he became the new IWGP heavyweight champion. People went fucking insane. This, like I said, this was probably one of the best wrestling matches I have ever seen in a long time, and I'll put that at the top of my category right now for match of the year. I thought Strong Style Evolved was pretty big, and I put it in the category, but I think this tops it. You think the trilogy was good with these two? This is probably their best match by far right now. The Omega versus Okada 4 has been their best match. Okay, it's this, and they laid it all. They let it all out there. They left everything they had out there in this. People just went nuts. Both of these guys were down, and as Omega, they helped Omega up. The Young Bucks were out there watching, and Omega pretty much hugged both of the Young Bucks then, and Ibushi, I guess, ending this whole Bullet Club Civil War as they were going to present Omega with the belt. He just went to hug them then, and they all had a group hug with each other as Okada was being helped to the back. Ibushi put the belt on Omega's waist as Omega had a microphone. He starts speaking in Japanese, which I'm kind of glad. One thing they do now, they have a translator, so we actually know what he's saying. Everybody in Japanese now, so someone can translate it for us. And his final goal was winning the IWGP title, and he has finally done it. And there's been questions how he might leave Japan and take the payday and stuff, but he said no. He said this is a worldwide promotion and everything, and we're gonna bring New Japan up to the top. And he went back to English then, and say it's almost a miracle. And some say, yeah, you could do it, you could do this, take the payday, leave and everything. He says, no, I'm gonna do this by my own rules. He says, I'm gonna do this with his friends and his best friends by his side. They can do anything, all right, and take over the wrestling world and stuff. As Omega went on to speak after. But he said he was really tired and damn near dead. He did his goodbye, good night thing. His confetti came down. Cody walked out then, but Cody just kind of looked as people booed at Cody, and he walked back to the back then. And the Young Bucks and Ibushi held up Omega as they celebrated Kenny Omega winning the IWGP Heavyweight Championship. This was just, like I said, this was just great, okay? Even I got to the point, even I had to keep saying Omega's got to win this one, because if Okada wins, I don't know who could have beat Okada at this point, because Okada, like I said, was champion for almost 2 years, I believe, if I can count. I may have to look that up, but this was just great, okay? This is the best match out of this entire series. The story they told out there, the suspense, everything. You couldn't tell who was going to win out there, as both of these guys were just one apiece. Who was going to win the title? Who was going to be the new IWGP champion? What were they willing to let on the line? How much were they going to leave out there? And by God, they left everything out there, okay? This was just a great thing to watch. This whole show was great to watch, especially these title matches. But if you don't have time to watch any of this show, and I recommend subscribing to New Japan World. It's worth the $9, okay? It really is. And if you don't have time to watch everything, I would say, if you don't have time to watch any of these matches, just watch the main event, and you will be amazed by what you see. But if you have more time, watch the IWGP title, watch the Intercontinental title, watch the Tag Team titles, watch Rey Mysterio's debut, watch the Junior Heavyweight Championship, and you'll see how great this show was. Okay, this was just a fun time to watch. Isn't long and over 5 hours. Yes, it is, but it kept me wanting more. It kept me interested throughout the whole thing, and that main event had me hyped as hell out there. I know people saying, and I'll say this right here, somebody pointing out, I know Omega's contract was like, I know he signed one for like another year in New Japan, but I think he may be signing another one if you ask me. I don't see this guy doing the WWE anytime soon. And hey, we could get a 5th match. Think about this, people. Let me throw this out here. And I don't think it may happen, but I'm going to throw this idea out here right now. Could there be a 5th match between Okada and Omega? I don't know. Maybe All In. Both of these guys are All In. So could we see the title on the line again at All In? I don't know. But I'm just kind of making some speculation right now. But this match was just great. It looked great on paper, and it looked even greater just watching this whole show. Okay? It really was. If you don't want to sit there in the car, like I said, go through those 5 things I just told you about this entire show. This was just a incredible match tonight. Bullet Club really kind of killed out there tonight. I will say that. They were killing it. I'm surprised the rest of the Bullet Club didn't even come out and, celebrate with Omega, since he tells he is the leader of the Bullet Club, but he had the Young Bucks and Ibushi out there. And even I saw B and the Elite, they even got the t-shirts now for the Golden Elite, which is pretty cool. So is the Golden Elite a new thing now? I don't know where this is going to go next between this. Cody looked like he was still jealous, and maybe we'll see another match between him and Omega, but Omega finally did it. Omega finally got the freaking belt, probably the richest prize of this business right now, okay? Listen, fuck what WWE's got going on right now. This shit right here is what you gotta watch. This is the show. If you ain't even in the New Japan like that, you watch that main event, and even I'll say, I'm putting out there, I promise you, you will become a fan after what you see out of Dominion 2018. This was just great and an incredible show to watch, and I loved pretty much nearly everything about it, especially in the main event. So a lot of new champions were crowned tonight, from Omega, Jericho, the Young Bucks, Hiromu Takahashi, and Michael Elgin. So I don't know what's gonna happen next, but just watch the main event if you can. Okada versus Omega 4. You will love it. Okay, this was great, and I know there was going to be a lot going on. As I said, I will move into the next part of this. Somewhat like a double review. I want to speak on the CM Punk 225 fight against Mike Jackson. There's a lot to say. There's a lot of controversy going on. We all know Punk lost, of course, but from that, and then Corey Graves running his mouth on Twitter, which that really kind of went out, really left field to me. But just to speak on the fight itself, do I think CM Punk did better than he did last time? Yes, he did. Did he make it all 3 rounds? Yes, he did. Did he lose by the unanimous decision? Yeah, but I will say, just kind of analyzing the fight, I think he did really good in the first round, and he was holding his own out there. But I believe when the second, third round came, this is where Punk started to lose it, and he was just kind of gassed, where even I said this wasn't not looking good. Because it's like Mike Jackson could have ended the fight anytime he wanted. And I know Dana White even said something on this too, because he was kind of pissed off at Mike Jackson also. It's like, you had every moment to win, but it's like, and I saw this too, Mike Jackson was just pandering to the crowd. He could have ground and pound Punk and beat him right there, but it's like, he was just throwing punches, just not even that hard of punches, just kind of messing with him as Punk's just trying to get out of it. He's just trying his best to, get out, but he just couldn't make it out of there. When he got to the third round, Punk, he was bleeding from, I believe he had his face was pretty bruised, if I remember. I'm trying to remember if he had a cut on his eye, so Punk was kind of beat up there and bleeding, I will say that. You gotta give Punk one credit on one thing. The guy had the balls to step into an octagon ring 2 times and do this. Do I think CM Punk will fight again? I don't really know. I'm not even sure he will. Even Dana White kind of put out there saying, like, this is kind of done now, okay? Like, he's had 2 fights now. But I think Dana White say this is over. Now I think CM Punk could have done amateur fights first before moving into UFC. I understand CM Punk is a big draw. He's a big draw over here in Chicago. You know there were a lot of CM Punk chants out there. Yes. So even Punk had to comment on himself. He was 1-1 this week. Yes, he did lose the fight, but he did win the case against the WWE doctor Chris Amon, because come on, that we all know that case was ridiculous, but I am glad he did win and beat that quack of a doctor. I already kind of spoke on that earlier in the week, and I don't remember which review it was, but yes, CM Punk and Colt Cabana were able to win their that defamation case, because that doctor is a fucking moron after the stuff I heard in court about him, and this man should have his medical license taken away from him. There's a reason why he's called Dr. Z-Pack. But Punk, like I said, Punk was able to, yes, he did win the court case this week. So, yeah. And as I said, Dana White just kind of winning Mike Jackson because he knew he couldn't end the fight there. So, I don't know. I think CM Punk embarrassed himself. I wouldn't go that far, really. Embarrassing himself. No, I wouldn't go that far. And say that. Did he lose? Yeah, but I feel like this fight could have been over, because I felt like when they got in the later rounds, the fight just looked really bad. Then after that, it really did. But kind of again, before I get back in the fight, there was one thing that was kind of I saw also that people were talking about, and my friend had showed me this whole, and I see he's still going at this now. Corey Graves calling out CM Punk right after this fight several times on Twitter. Now I'd see this must have been a personal thing, and stuff like. I'm just kind of going back on some of the tweets that people said, because my friend sent me the messages and stuff, and he's talking about. I'm trying to just read it off right here, just a couple of them, because he sent them to me. Of Corey Graves talking about maybe abandoning everybody who stood by your side, even when we weren't supposed to, only to have you turn your back on us. Wasn't the right move after all. No anger, only sadness. All seems the fans are disappointed. Maybe you guys should know that dude held my first son before I did. I was on tour and I trusted him. I had dinner with him the week after he quit. The first rule of punk rock is loyalty, and the guy betrayed it all. I still love you, friend, and I'm sorry that you got lost. Don't worry, hey Vince McMahon, this has nothing to do with you. You eat Triple H. This isn't corporate. This is real life. Calm down, internet. Okay, first off, why is Corey Graves even discussing personal business on Twitter? And it's almost like he indicated, like, you're already taking the guy on while he's like, it's like you're just kind of picking on when he's already down right now after losing the fight. So it's like, why is he calling out CM Punk? And why would you wait right after the fight, right after he lost? Like, was there something salty about this? I don't know. And, I've kind of seen that Corey Graves has got a lot of negative reception, because it's like you're trying to challenge him to a fight now after, after what just happened, and he putting all this personal business out there. I don't know all the personal stuff that he's putting out there with his kid and all that. I don't know the whole story behind that. But, my God, you really want to fight Punk that bad now? Like, why wasn't you talking all this stuff when Booker T was calling you out, ready to beat the crap out of you in a Starbucks, okay? Let's kind of go from there. But, like I said, I don't know why Corey Graves said all this stuff. Because that was just kind of quick right after the fight, and I'm like, why is he talking bad about Punk? But like I said, this must be a personal dispute. I don't really know that much on, but I just kind of seen that was kind of blowing up on the internet then, of what he was talking about him about. So I don't really know. I don't really know what's gonna go on with that, and I'm sure the WWE may try to have a field day, because we know they don't like CM Punk, and we seen them take shots at Punk in the past when he lost the first fight against Mickey Gall and everything. So I'm sure they probably gonna do something to come at him anyways. Like I said, CM Punk did one thing though that a lot of guys couldn't do. It was beat WWE in a courtroom, because it's usually always into some settlement. But he beat them in a court case. I will give him that. But I don't know what's gonna happen with CM Punk next. Will he fight again? I'm not really sure. He tried, I'll give him that, but it's 2 fights now, and like I said, he looked better than he did in the first one, but the second one, it's like after the second, third round, the guy was just gassed. He was very, very gassed, okay? And I didn't know how long he would survive out there. Will I think he will ever come back to wrestling? I don't know, man. He pretty much said WWE killed his passion, and he can't even go through 8 seconds watching WWE. He doesn't have to come back to WWE, okay? He can come back to wrestling. I don't know where. And, you know, he's technically all in, or he's not all in, but we know he's doing autographs during All In weekend and stuff. I don't know if Punk will ever come back to wrestling. I don't know. Will he fight again? I don't know what the story will be with that. But I do give him credit for what he did and wanting to do this, even though I always thought that this was so out of the blue. This guy wanted to do UFC, but I was like, okay, we'll just have to find out, and we'll see what happens then. But like I said, the fight was at least better than the first one. The first one just looked really bad. This one here, at least I give him credit. He survived all, the whole everything out there. But a lot of people respected Punk. With Joe Rogan, even though he's buried the guy several times, good thing I guess Punk left the cage right after Jackson won, because Rogan kept burying him several times. But he did say he had heart, and a lot of guys in the back that the guy showed a lot of heart out there, and he did his best. I would give CM Punk that. And like I said, I wanted him to win, but at least he didn't get knocked out. Yeah, he still lost by unanimous decision. But even I got to the point throughout the fight where Jackson could have just beat him. He had it's like he just kept toying with the people and just wanted to let this go all 3 rounds. Like, he could have beat him right there, especially in the second round, that ground and pound. But he wanted to keep it going. But that's my thoughts on the whole UFC 225 and the CM Punk versus Mickey Gall fight and everything behind it. I guess on the Corey Graves tweets and everything. And I think they said Rousey was in the Hall of Fame for UFC. But I just wanted to speak on that, just to get on the second part of it. It was a little bit of a quick review of the UFC 225 thing. But the whole story of this whole review was the New Japan Pro Wrestling Dominion 18 review. But like I said, if you have any time, any chance throughout the day of this week, watch this pay-per-view. Either watch the whole show or just to watch the 2 main events themselves. Just watch the 5 things I said. IWGP title, Intercontinental title, tag team match, Mysterio debut, junior heavyweight tag team titles, if you want to start from there. If not, feel free to watch the whole show. But if you have any chance, watch this Omega versus Okada fight. If you're even not that big of a fan of New Japan, just watch it, and I promise you will be amazed, and probably watching one of the greatest wrestling matches of all time, I would have to say. Match of the year, in my opinion, as of right now. Match of the year category, and probably at the top of the list, and probably one of the best ones out of this entire series they've had. You thought the trilogy was good? Wait till you see the 4th match. But that's my review of New Japan Dominion. A lot of champions crowned, a lot of big moments happening. New Japan is going to be going to a big direction, so hey, watch out, people. I'm out of here. I will see you guys later. Peace out.